What's up?
How's it going? Hey, shiny people.
How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Matt,
Yeah,
you there? I think you were muted a second ago.
I was. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Krste, your audio working?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, good deal.
I had the same problem as Matt.
How's everybody doing today? Good?
Yeah.
Ready for it?
Well,
We're in it, man. This
Do
is it.
Let some people join in here. This stream was not quite looked like I had some issues there. This stream was not quite as scheduled as previous ones. So we had a ton of people join in like the last 2 minutes here. What's up, Gary? How you doing, buddy? Wendy, good morning. We've got Tasha, I think, from Slovenia. Welcome to the stream. Michelle, good morning. Dave Mackey or Sophie. Sophie, what's up? The chat's just flying here. I can't stay on top of it. Dave Mackey, got some chickens in there. I like it. Are the emojis black and white on the screen for you guys too?
Yeah.
Man, what is
that
going
new?
on? It's like all the emojis on the internet broke. It's like we have an emoji outage. Is there I wonder if there's like an emoji department that we can reach out to get these fixed. Facebook user, doing great. Hey, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to give Facebook permission to show your name so we know who we're talking to here. Ed Ellis, good morning from Reno, Nevada. What's up, Ed? How we doing? Let's see. Krste says, bring it on. We're going to bring it on. Shay, hi, everyone. Wendy says, wonderful. Kim says, good day. Here we go. Facebook user from France. I love our international people. Welcome. Ed says, color for us. Must be a... I wonder if it's like a Windows Mac thing, maybe. I'm on Windows. What are you doing, Zappy? Are you on a Windows machine or a Mac?
Oh, I'm on a Windows machine, and at least within the StreamYard browser tab, it shows black and white for me.
Yeah.
But maybe on the user end on Facebook or something, it doesn't. It shows correctly.
Well, is what it is. Justine's got some unicorns going on. I like it. We got Rafael from Spain, Facebook user from Australia, Facebook user from Kenya. There we go. All right, let's do it. Today, we are going to be talking about scaling. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. There we go. We're going to talk about scaling in Q4. What's working, what's not working. And we've got a pretty diverse panel today. So Jim, unfortunately, couldn't make it. He's got some other things he's working on that were a little bit more important. However, we've got Krste, Zappy, and Matt Bahe here. Is it Bahe or Bahe?
It's Ba.
It's Bahe?
No, it's just Ba. Like the
It's
E's not
Ba.
there.
Ba. So the E is silent.
Yeah, just for torture for children, I guess.
Welcome to English, I guess. Are you calling me a child?
No. I'm saying like when I was a kid. It
It'd
was
have
a
been all
source
right
of
if
many
you were
like
anyway.
sheep jokes, you know. Ba.
Ba. Matt Ba. I like it.
I think it's German.
Yeah, it could be. I think Krste is German too.
Mhm.
Zappy are you Polish?
It's originally Ukrainian.
Yeah, and Krste, Macedonian?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, at least we got our bloodlines established here because that's important. All right, so let's get this thing started. You know how we like to roll here. We kick this thing off with a toast. So raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enabled ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Drink up.
Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. That is how we do it right there. Okay. I feel got the dopamine flowing. The brain I got neurons firing. I got parts of my brain that are talking to each other I haven't heard from in years. This is going to be good. All right. So do me a favor, like the post. Tell us where you're watching from. You guys have done a great job already. Julie chimed in from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, not the country. We have Facebook user from Kenya. We got folks from all over the place so far. Appreciate you joining. Like the post, love the post, do whatever fancy things you want to do with the post. Drop some emojis and some comments in it. Let's get this sucker up in the algorithm here. And let's get going. We got some testimonials. Let's give away some swag, and then we'll get into the meat of this thing. So G. McMillan, today was my best day so far. $321 in revenue. Congratulations. Says he's using the D30 method, which is pretty awesome. So Krste, Dirty 30, famous around the world. Anyway, 11 total units. Congratulations, buddy. You've got some swag coming your way. Somebody from my team will be reaching out. And we probably got a T-shirt or something like that. We'll let you pick from our swag store. Luis hit 1K revenue. A lot of yays this week. LOL. 23 units sold, $530 in profit. Congratulations, Luis. Thanks for sharing your progress here in the group. We love to see it. We love to see our new people hit their personal bests and new milestones. It shows everybody what is possible. So it's great to see it. So appreciate that. You've got some swag coming your way. Oscar here has been absolutely crushing it with TikTok and Facebook. So Oscar is on a team with Lindsay and I believe the other guy's name was Miguel. Sorry, other guy. I apologize. Anyway, they're on a team and they all kind of, I think one of them manages the store and one of them's helping do ads, and they've got kind of a system worked out. It's pretty amazing. So if you're struggling to go at this solo, this is a great example of how you can team up with somebody and still achieve massive success. Anyway, $1,493 in revenue from one customer. This is all from a single customer, which is kind of insane. What is that? I guess it'd be this one here. Nope, it'd be this. Oh, these are all their sales. Got it. So this person came, they purchased, came back, they purchased, came back a third time and purchased more. $1,493 in revenue from a single customer. So that's a customer he had to acquire one time, and he spent $1,400 at the store, which is pretty incredible. So go check out this post. Oscar's been dropping some knowledge bombs in the chat. He's already got some swag from us. Congratulations, buddy. You got some more swag coming your way. Thanks for sharing. All right, Stephanie. I picked this one out of the chat today, out of the group today, because I just thought this was really cool. She was in a local Kohl's department store, it looks like, and she found some message card jewelry in department stores. So now department stores are picking up on the trend. And keep in mind, this is going to create more demand for this type of product, not less, because you've got a ton of people that still have never even been exposed to this product. Even though it's been around on Facebook for a year or two, it's still never, it's not in the mainstream. Facebook is still, it's kind of small, the number of people that have seen these ads. This, Kohl's and other department stores starting to bring this stuff in-house and putting it in display cases. It's going to drive demand for this kind of product. So I thought that was super cool. This whole industry may get another breath of fresh air as we move into next year, which could be pretty incredible. So anyway, I just wanted to feature that. Thank you for sharing this, Stephanie. Really appreciate that. I thought this was super cool. What do you guys think about that, by the way? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Krste, Zappy, Matt, what do you think of that?
Actually, I was just thinking that, they don't really have to do the advertising part, but it's also would be a lot harder for them to really scale a lot of sales in a short amount of time like we do. So while we do have the direct ad costs, we can still crush even a local big store, box store like that. It's just interesting to think about how it works.
I mean, it's changing the perception, right? So they go into the store, they have a look at the message, they don't like the message, then they come home and they see one pop up in their newsfeed, and it's the message that they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So, it is like creating that thought process of them consideration. So that consideration's already been developed in the store, but it's not quite, they haven't been sold. And then you go ahead and you show it to them, like the message which they resonate with in their feed or in their TikTok, and they just go and buy that one because it resonates with them. So that's probably one thing the department store is probably not creating the phrases in the way that we create them. So I think that's where we still have an edge for a long time yet.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. These phrases look, I mean, I can't read them, but they look crappy to me, even from here, from 30,000 feet and, a little bit of pixel distortion. They look pretty bad to me.
Yep.
The thing that, and Matt, I don't know if you want to chime in here, but feel free to.
I would just say notice the design. It's not complicated.
That's a good point, dude. Dude, also, they're totally taking their cues from what we've cracked online. Look at that granddaughter, Angel. They're using kind of that greeting card format. So that's kind of cool.
I think the one right there is the one you sold 90 grand on, isn't it? Looks just
not much different. It was fairly plain. That's for sure.
And also, I just want to point out again too that we don't have to have a big brick and mortar store, in a small section to try to sell this. And the fact that we can do this from the comfort of our homes and probably sell more than your local store when you start scaling. I mean, the potential is so incredible, and it's amazing what we can do just right here in front of our laptops.
The other thing is, I kind of wonder if there's, let's say somebody wanders into a Kohl's and they see this jewelry and they go, it's kind of novel to them because they haven't seen the ads or anything like that. And they pick one up, they buy it once. Like suddenly they're kind of a customer now for this type of item because they've made their first transaction. The ice has been broken. It actually makes me wonder if it's going to make that individual easier to sell to a second or a third time online when they start to see, I can get something that's a little more personal or has a better message. I can also get this luxury box with it, and things like that. I actually wonder if it'll make the second and third purchase easier. We're going to move on here, but somebody in the chat said, I bet Kohl's, here, I'll just show them. I bet Kohl's has a super low price. And then B says competition much. And I actually am not worried about this at all because think of the t-shirt industry, right? Dude, every store on the planet sells t-shirts. It seems like even gas stations will sell t-shirts. Yet people are making an absolute killing online selling t-shirts that you couldn't get in the stores, right? And that's kind of the key. That's what differentiates us is we're bringing something unique to it they cannot find in stores, and they'll pay a premium for that. When you get the message just right and you've got their feelies going on, right? Their hearts fluttering or they got some emotions moving around, they will pay more for the product. Anyway, let's keep going. We've got some quick updates I want to run through, and then wait. We had one more. We have Matt. We have Matt's post on here. So congratulations, Matt. You're going to get some swag.
Awesome.
for coming on. He's wearing some swag today. Stand up and show everybody what you're wearing. He's wearing the 100 hand. Let me make it bigger. Hold on. I'm going to make you feel really awkward here.
I thought that was appropriate. Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah. Heck yeah. 100 million. Way to go, dude. Okay. You can sit back down. Thanks for that. So Matt dropped a post. Matt's hitting some personal bests here. He just hit a second 10K a day in a row. Today looks even better. Did you end up breaking 10K?
I did. Yesterday we did 20, over 20.
Amazing, man. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, how does that feel?
It feels kind of like trying to catch a bull for like a long time, and now I caught it and I'm riding it and I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing. Like,
Totally, man.
Why did I want to catch the bull for?
That's a really fair analogy.
But it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, part of it was like me. I was in the whole like test phase for so long that it's hard to like turn that off and go to scale. So there's been kind of a transitional period there, and I'm still learning a lot and making mistakes, but yeah, it's fun for sure.
Yeah, it's thrilling, isn't it? So do you still have your notifications turned on your phone, the Shopify?
I did, except when I was driving, they were popping up constantly, and I was like, I gotta turn them off now.
Is that not the coolest feeling in the world? When like I don't know, there's something exhilarating about seeing your phone light up literally every few minutes with sales.
It was different when I was testing, like your phone would go off. You'd be like, "Ooh, a sale." Like, "Oh, it's mom. Come on, mom."
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was going to say too.
Right.
A few years ago, I would get disappointed when it was a text message from an actual person. Oh, I thought it was another sale.
All right, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about this. Let's keep going here. So hey, if you guys want some free swag, drop your personal milestones, your revenue screenshots, tips and tricks in the chat. We're gonna grab 3 to 5 of those a week. Whoever gets kind of called out here in Coffee with Michael is gonna get some swag. All right, latest news. I thinned these down quite a bit, so we'll get to the content. So shipping deadlines, we posted these this week. Go inside the Facebook group, go click on the featured tab and make sure you scroll down and look at this so that you know what our shipping cutoffs are. So I don't know that I should go through these. Yeah, I will. I guess I'll go through these one at a time real quick. So graphic pendants, shipping cutoff for EU and in the UK is Friday, December 10th at 11:59 p.m. So any sale that's paid for, this is an important part of this equation. Any sale that you've received and that you've paid for. So if you're on the app, you need to make sure you're pushing, you're manually paying for these. So any sale that comes in before 11:59 p.m. CET, which is Amsterdam time, right? Amsterdam time on Friday, December 10th, should ship and should still make it by Christmas, right? We're being told guaranteed Christmas delivery by the carriers. If it's ordered and paid for by this time, the paid for part is important. So if you're using the app, make sure you're manually paying for these, especially as we get close to the cutoff times here. So graphic pendants, so Friday, December 10th for the EU and the UK, and for the US, it's Sunday, December 12th. So you get 2 extra days of selling in the United States. All the orders, again, they got to be paid for by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. Now, engraved only pendants, EU and UK, you have till Sunday, December 12th at 11:59 CET. Again, that's Amsterdam time. And then in the US, you have till Tuesday, December 14th, 11:59 p.m. EST, Eastern time. And then message cards only. So these are the easiest ones for us to fulfill. It's also great because they're usually our best sellers. In the EU and the UK, you have until Wednesday, December 15th at 11:59 p.m. Amsterdam time. And then in the EU, man, too many kind of weird acronyms here with a bunch of vowels. In the US, you have until December 16th at 11:59 p.m. EST. And if you stay tuned during that week and you're scaling, we may have a surprise for you. We are working really hard to get you at least 1 extra day of selling. And we may be able to surprise you with that, but you're going to have to stay tuned, pay attention to the group. In the week of, we may have a special announcement for you. And if you're scaling, you know how important that extra day is. It's massive, massive money. So stay tuned on that. All right, next, the affiliates dashboard launched. So I made a post about this yesterday. Again, go to the featured section inside the Facebook group to really find it. And I kind of walk through like what this is, how you activate it, and I give you some tips and some ideas to share it. But essentially, you've made 100 sales with ShineOn products. This automatically gets turned on for your account, and you can find it inside the dashboard by going to analytics and then referrals. This is going to be your affiliates dashboard. Up in the top right of your dashboard, you're going to have a magic link. This is a link you can use. You can share it with anybody, and if they sign up with ShineOn through that link, you're going to get referral commission on every sale that they make. Every order, you'll earn 75 cents, I believe it is. And we have massive, you can make a ton of money on this. So I think our cap per seller referred is $25,000. So if you refer a seller and you can earn up to $25,000 off that single seller that's referred based on their orders. And you can earn up to $1 million a year. And that resets every single year. So this is a massive kind of referral program. So that's kind of how that works. Again, go find my post. I've got some more details in there about how it works, how it gets turned on. I've got some interesting ways that you can share with your friends and whoever else, your entrepreneurial buddies in the communities that you might frequent to get them into ShineOn. So go check that out. All right, coaching. What I really want to draw your attention to over here is Krste hit 150. Actually, I think it was a Krste Zappy combined effort here. Hit $154,000 in revenue in a single day. $154,000. That's insane. That is so much revenue. I just don't even know what to think of that. How are you feeling about that, Krste and Zappy?
it's a crazy time. Yeah, I guess like I was excited at like 100,000 because like that's 6 figures a day, and then the next day was 108 or 112, and then like it just went to 150. I'm like, whoa, okay. So and this is not factoring in how quickly it happened as well. So if we just do 1st and 2nd of December, I've done over $250,000. Like it's just crazy how quickly it's going up and up.
Like month to date, as in just the past few days, over $250,000. It's pretty amazing.
And it's I try to tell everybody, like, you cannot even fathom how big the market is, especially as you get closer and closer to Christmas. Like, so many buyers become activated, and you got to remember, like, they're buying multiple gifts. They're not just buying one gift.
Yeah.
So it increases exponentially. It is not a linear type of growth here. So it's freaking amazing, man. Good work. Congratulations, dude. You blew my record out of the water. Now I will tell you, just to keep it real with everybody, is Krste has said that we're starting to reach this point of diminishing returns, where we're starting to trade profit for volume, essentially, right? And so we may have to actually pull back on volume to retain profit, and that's just part of scaling. If anybody's taken my Econ Profit Formula course, and I believe this is in ShineOn 100K too, I actually talk about this. There's this intersection between volume and return on investment, and you have to find where that proper intersection is and try to hold your campaigns in that place, because that's where you're going to make the most money. At any rate,
yeah. So
go ahead,
just
Krste.
to add one thing there. I mean, last year there was a few days, I think Black Friday, where I did a lot of revenue, but I broke even for the day. But I reap rewards for at least 6 months in the future from retargeting emails, from SMS, from so on and so forth. So making a profit and having that much volume going through your funnels, you can reap the rewards for several months after. So it's not just having to get the sale at that point of time. Obviously you want to be profitable, but it's okay sometimes, because the days fluctuate. Sometimes days aren't as good as previous days, as long as you have risk management in place. It's not the end of the world if you break even on a huge day per se, if that makes sense.
Dude, I think the break-even day is a win, even because you collect, like, not only do you collect buyer data that you can like retarget or sell to in the future, but dude, you're optimizing your pixels. There's so much you gain even on a massive break-even day.
Yep.
Anyway, look, Krste, Zappy, all this information we're trying to share in the coaching groups. It's really the place to be. If you're interested in coaching, go to coaching.shineon.com, coaching.shineon.com. We've got 2 options for you. We have Fast Track and Elite at different price points. Go check those out. That's where the latest and greatest information is. That's where you're going to learn really what's working, what's on the cutting edge, that kind of thing. So coaching.shineon.com is where you want to be. Next, I want you to go check for the Shot of Espresso in the Facebook group. Zappy dropped this last night, right? So kind of flash in the pan. You may have missed it. Go check it out. It's a mega guide. So it's like 30 pages long. He covers all kinds of stuff in this. You're going to want to go find it. So search for Michael Zapke in the search bar, or go to featured inside of the Facebook group, and you'll be able to find his post in the Facebook group. But you're really going to want this guide. And guys, the Shots of Espresso, it's like super high value, free content that we give you literally every week. Nobody else is doing this. It's absolutely insane. Like, you're getting an education for free right here on how to sell these products and make tons of money. So go check this out. You don't want to miss it. All right. Quick update on the 100 challenge. I think this thing has resulted in over like 15,000 sales or something like that, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. The amount of success the sellers are having in the challenge. Farhat did 4,700 units sold. Congratulations, Farhat. And we've got a whole leaderboard that you can kind of scroll through and see where everybody's placing, but over 15,000 orders sold. And then also, I think it's well over 100,000 SKUs. I mean, these people have been absolutely crushing it. So congratulations to them. We are going to be launching a new contest, a new challenge for Valentine's Day. Now, we're not going to have 100 days to prepare, unfortunately, but we're going to do another challenge in the run up to Valentine's Day. Tammy is going to be announcing that in the group. So if you're interested in this, make sure you're paying attention to the group and get into that challenge when it opens. Keep in mind, we open the doors for a little while, then we close the doors, and then, you know, that's it. We don't let anybody in afterwards. It's completely free to join. You're not going to want to miss it. So stay tuned, pay attention to the group for the challenge to come out. All right. The best way to stay caught up is to check, not announcements anymore. Thank you, Facebook. They've changed the name of it. It's now featured. So the best way to stay caught up is inside the Facebook group. Up at the top, there is a featured like tab or link, I guess you could call it. Click that. That's good, where you're going to see all the latest and greatest updates and all the stuff that we're doing for you. We have launched so many features and products and things like that in the last quarter. It literally will make your head spin. I mean, I think 2 or 3 things easily get added to this every single week. So it's very, very easy to miss the updates. So make sure you go to the group, click featured, and, you know, scroll through this for a little bit and make sure you're staying up to date on all the latest and greatest stuff that we brought you. So holy crap, man, it's always a lot. It's always a lot. I probably need to think through like finding ways to kind of bring you guys into that more, or keeping you out of it till I'm done with it, because good grief.
You're gonna need a nap after that.
It feels, well, I want you guys to talk so I can drink my coffee and wake back up here a little bit. But anyways, let's go back to real quick. So we were kind of talking about it a little bit before we went live, that, you know, seeing Krste do these massive, Krste and Zappy do these massive numbers, like $154,000 in a single day, which is a mind-blowing number. But the thing is for a lot of people, even though that's kind of exciting, they can't totally relate to that. You know, you've got people that maybe still haven't had their first sale, or, you know, they've never had a $10,000 day even. And when they see, you know, Krste and Zappy at $150,000, it's super inspiring. It's unbelievable that those numbers can be achieved, but it's not very relatable. And I actually feel like Matt Bahe here helps kind of bridge that gap in a major way, because Matt has been in this space for, how long have you been doing this, Matt? At least a year.
Longer than that. I was in your Econ Profit Formula course like right after you first launched it. So that's a couple of years, hasn't it?
Oh, wow. So that would have been, I think that was early 2020. So you're going on 2 years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Matt has been in this game for almost 2 years. And I know you've been investing in your education, because not only did you take my Econ Profit Formula course, fairly certain you were in ShineOn 100K. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure you're in the coaching too, mm-hmm, right now with Krste and Zappy and everybody else. And have you also done some of Mario's stuff? Who else have you consumed some education from? Yeah,
so I was in the group. I was in the group since May, Triumph, and now ShineOn Coaching. And then I also do coaching with Mario and with Ronnie as well. So. Yeah, so what I really love about that is it shows how hard you've worked at this, right? Not only that, but I know you're on almost every single one of these Coffee with Michaels. Literally, I mean, I see you chatting in the comments and things like that. So my real point here is that Matt has treated this like it's a skill, right? And like any skill, it takes time to learn. It takes effort. It takes practice. Like, it's not something that most people are just going to get right away. He has worked really hard to get to where he's at, right? And so he's been through wherever you're at in your journey. I'm sure Matt can relate to it, because he's been there at some point over the last year or two. So Matt, I just want to talk about, you know, why don't you kind of run us through your story here a little bit? So, and share as much or as little detail as you want. But so you got started last year, 2020, with Econ Profit Formula. Tell us a little bit about where you went from there, you know, your successes, your hangups, some mindset stuff you overcame. Just kind of walk us through some of that. Sure. Yeah. I mean, going up till, I started online in about 2010, doing like authority sites and niche sites. And as I was building those up, not to go too far back, but I'll summarize, I started to notice that, you know, it would take forever to build these sites. They get to like a decent monthly income. Google update, Panda Penguins, and all that stuff would come about and just take your earnings to zero. So I got a little frustrated with that and decided to give Facebook a shot because everybody was talking about Facebook ads. This is like when they're really new. And I spent $50 and was like, this is crap. I'm not paying Zuck's money. I mean, this is such a waste of money. Might as well just throw it out the window. So I quit for a little bit. And then there was another update and my earnings went down to like nothing. And I'm like, fine, I'll figure it out. And right around
you're like one of those guys that bought like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin back in like 2011 or whatever, and then sold it all.
What a waste, right?
You're like, this is never going anywhere.
Yeah. So then was just randomly going around YouTube and found people selling shirts, and then kind of got into that obviously in around 2015 and rode that, built up a decent brand. But obviously everything's kind of getting more expensive on Facebook now, and I was looking to kind of add something else to the mix in my current brand at the time, and came across you, and I was like, yeah, this jewelry stuff is awesome. I mean, there's a way better margin, it's better perceived value, it's something new, and so I thought, yeah, I'll just try it. And I had a little bit of success adding it to the current brand. And then even I think it was like the first like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day in that area, I did decent, not a lot, but kind of was just getting like my feet wet. And so then
this would have been 2020 Valentine's Day.
Okay. I think it was actually 19, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. 2020 is like a lost year anyway.
Yeah, it was like a decade and a year.
Yeah. So then coming around, because I think it was just before Christmas of 2019. I was all like, I'm gonna go gung ho and I'm gonna sell all this stuff, and then I lost my ad account like right before Black Friday, and it was because of the whole like election thing. So whatever that happened, and so I ended up not getting it back till January, and I was like kind of upset. Obviously, didn't have any backups on it. So then I decided, well, I'm gonna start selling ShineOn stuff for within the current brand for February for Valentine's Day.
So let's piece together the timeline here. So the election was in 2020, right? It would have been November 2020. So you lost your account. You didn't get it back till January of 2021.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
There you go.
Yep. Go ahead.
Now you're talking, right? Okay. And so I ended up doing 10K profit for Valentine's Day, which I was like, that's awesome. So maybe this is something to start taking more like seriously. And so I kept on kind of pursuing it. And I think I joined the Triumph in like May and started learning about all the things I did wrong. Coming from a t-shirt background, I'm very humor based, and that doesn't always translate well in this type of thing. And so I was trying to like unlearn and relearn how to write quotes effectively and everything. And spent a lot of time on that, and then had some success like in graduation, during graduation time. And but nothing really like blowout. And it was kind of like at that point, all the way fast forward maybe till like August, I decided that like there's too much restriction in my current brand. Like I have to like filter it through a niche, and I don't want to deal with it. I wanted to be able to like feel free to grab any kind of quotes, like broad quotes. And so that's when I kind of put the current store on mothballs and started a brand new store dedicated to ShineOn. And that's kind of when I went all in and became obsessed. And now my entire phone is full of pictures of message cards, and I look at it all the time and think about it all the time. So
yeah, that's awesome too. So it sounds
to turn the corner.
It sounds like part of what changed to you too was focus.
Oh
like
yeah,
you got hyper focused on figuring this out and making it work.
Yeah, for sure.
So Krste, do you remember him kind of coming through Triumph?
Yeah, so I feel it was a bit early. I think it may have been March or April, because I remember we worked together.
It's like a Christopher Nolan film here.
Yeah, I think
bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, because I think we worked together a little bit on graduation, and the graduation was around that sort of April, May, June timeline. Yeah. So I think that
right.
Yeah, but regardless, like I think we worked together on refining and improving some designs and some strategies, and he had some reasonable success in graduation. And then like he's been growing ever since. So it's like watching a flower grow, right? So we planted the seed and it's been growing ever since. Up until recently, I know in November there was a few conversations that we had, and he had quite a lot of aha moments. So whether it be like critiquing some designs or some phrases, we also discussed some other product ideas which are closer to his heart, like the humor-based ones. I don't know if you got any traction on those or not, but we tried to like expand his testing parameters so he hits as many potential products as possible, so he can really hit one that's going to go. So and most recently we've been working on like more risk management. So first of all, it was a lot of self-belief and achievement-based stuff, which I think were putting boundaries so he couldn't get over the line. So we removed some of these restrictions, and he managed to overcome that restriction. So he like beat his personal best and all that sort of stuff. And I guess the biggest part was he got a little bit too excited and took a little bit more risk than he should. But that's part of the learning thing. So like even I have potentially sometimes taken more risk than I should have. So but as long as you learn from that, and you can do better in the future. So it's really good to see him break out of that comfort zone, and being applied in the way that he approaches it. So I think that like it's really gratifying to see like the entire process, and that's what I really wanted to iterate. Like he didn't join just before Q4 and expect. I know that there's some people that have that situation. They've joined coaching and they're having success right now, but I don't want to put false perceptions out there. It is really hard to achieve, and everyone has their own timeline. Like Eduardo, I think last year we started chatting like in September, and he had his success Q2, 3 this year, and is still successful now. So there's no like rush. You have to like join now, succeed now sort of thing. Everyone has their own timeline, and it's okay to be shorter or longer, like as long as you are consistent and you're constantly improving. And I think that really is inspiring to see like anyone at their own pace succeed. It's really gratifying.
So you finally kind of cracked the code, it seems like. I mean, you've got your first big success. Let's talk a little bit about mindset. And by the way, folks in the chat, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them. I've kind of got my eye on the chat. Whatever questions you have for Krste, Zappy, or Matt, just drop them in there. And if they're relevant and insightful, not something we've covered already, I'll ask them, and we'll see what he has to say. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about mindset real quick, because I know that especially when you're new, man, and like you haven't quite, like what's possible, but you can't quite get there. I know it's a struggle to stay in the game, but I also know as soon as you get there the first time, it's like, for me, it was like the doors flew open. It literally felt like a Matrix moment. I mean, it seriously did, where it's like, whoa, I know Kung Fu kind of thing. So what, tell me, like, from a mindset perspective, what was holding you back? What changed and allowed you to hit your success? And kind of right now, I would say your mindset's probably evolving a little bit every day as you see your numbers go up. How's all that coming into play?
Well, I think like one of the most common things I see is like two mindsets of people coming into it, and I was one and now I'm the other. And the first is, I have $1,000. Is this enough to make it work? And the other one is, I'm going to invest X amount every month until it works. And so as soon as I adopted that, like almost like a burn the ships thing, like I'm going to allocate a certain amount of money every month to this, is kind of when like there is no end. It works, or I'm going to like die trying kind of thing.
That's awesome.
I think that was like a huge mindset shift for me. And then also I mean, it just kind of sounds narcissistic, but I see a lot of people have it too, where I feel like I'm a smart guy. It's not that the design's bad. I'm using not the right Kung Fu on Facebook to make it work. I need to figure out some kind of new method or new twist on it in order to make it work. And yeah, you can do that, but why would you waste time trying to like polish a turd instead of just going to find a diamond? I mean, it might work, it might not. Chances are it's not going to, especially if you're new. So it's best just to believe the data and go on volume. And like one of the things that I really came to terms with this year is I underestimate the amount of testing you have to do to find a real winner. I know one of the things you talked about in Ecom Profit was like the various fish. You had like what were they, like the salmon and the like the whale and all that.
It was
Guppy.
salmon, marlin, and whales.
Yeah,
Guppies.
I think about that all the time.
Guppies, salmon, marlins, and whales, something like that. Anyway, go ahead.
You should bring back the fish, man. I miss them.
I forgot about it.
But like recognizing that some designs fit in those categories, like some just sell a few and they just can't go beyond that. And so just, I know I had a lot of questions from people.
So hey, let's bridge. I'm not sure everybody's going to follow what we just said there. So in Econ Profit Formula, I was trying to explain some of these concepts and like how to approach print on demand. And so I tried to liken it to fishing a little bit, right? And I said that testing is kind of like, you're throwing your net into water where you think there are fish, right? And each fish or each product it relates to a fish, right? It's kind of how that's kind of how the metaphor I used. And so guppies were like those products you have that don't really get any sales. They're not going anywhere. They're a waste of time. Salmon are those products that they're like a little bit better, but like you can't really scale them, right? It's like you get some sales, you get some bites, they're good or whatever, but they don't really go anywhere. And then marlin, for those that don't know, are like the big kind of fish with the long pointy nose that you get out in the ocean. They're like big guys. It's like these folks will scale, but like you'll make some money on them. Like they're definitely fish that you want to catch, but they're not going to you're not going to be breaking records with them, right? It's like they're a good product, but they're not a great product. And then I had whales, and whales were the ones where it's like they're much harder to catch. They're way out in the deep, places in the ocean. They're harder to find, and this is I've never been whale fishing before, so in my make-believe mind here. But the idea is when you catch them, though, it's like there's no mistaking you have a whale on the end of the line, right? And these are the products that are going to make you, they're going to be your moonshots. That's going to be where they're going to make you most of your money are these whales. So I tried to liken it to fishing, and I was trying to say you go after the whales. So anyway, Matt, hope I didn't get you off your train of thought here.
No, that's perfect.
Go ahead and continue. I just wanted
Can I add while we're on that topic?
Yeah.
So basically, I just want to reiterate that Matt followed the system in terms of dirty 30 testing. So he started with 2, and then he put 4 out. So he followed the system, and the data which he was getting back was showing him that it was a winner. And that's the whole purpose of that specific testing method is we are looking for those whales. That's what we're looking for. We don't, and I think a lot of people have the problem. So this is the common problem which I see is they're looking too far in the future. They're looking for scaling methods. They're looking for all of these other things which are far in the future, like lookalike audiences, like they're losing track of what they should be focusing on is finding that winning combination of phrase and getting that test result which is a positive. So I think that was where I think a lot of people have trouble with. They get like 1 or 2 sales, and they end up spending a lot of money on those 1 or 2 sales products because they really want to push it over the edge. But unfortunately, most of the time it doesn't work out. So it's better just to follow the process. So you test products with like a specific testing method. It doesn't have to be dirty 30. Like there's other testing methods out there. As long as you follow the process and you have your rules in place and you have your success metrics for that, then that's fine. And that's where I feel that it works. So we had like another Etsy seller which Zach recommended to join, who showed us a design, and I said, let's tweak it, like let's put it out there and see what it does. I said my initial instinct that we could make a few tweaks, but we put it out there, we didn't do very well, and then we made some slight adjustments, and it's doing well based on the dirty 30 testing method, so it's passing all the tests. So now I can confidently help to scale, but unfortunately a lot of the trouble comes with not having that real startup which shows us that it's the winning product. So everyone really needs to just follow the process like what Matt has shown he has done. So
It's
continually testing until you find something that gives you that let's go sort of mentality.
basically everybody needs to go take a good, long, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you a turd polisher or are you a gold digger? Right? Like that needs to be your motivational speech every morning.
Because not quite a gold digger.
Yeah, I think that's the right term.
What?
There's negative connotations with gold diggers.
Well, I'm just saying, are you gonna spend your time, in the shallow water where all the guppies are? Or are you gonna go deep and try to get a whale? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at any rate, Zappy, you've been awfully quiet, man. You have anything you want to throw in here?
Taking it all in. Well, one thing I would say, it's important to remind people, is you don't have to have 10, 20, 50, 100 winning products. Sometimes it's just the one. You're doing the testing, you find something that has traction, you start scaling it, you see it's a winner. It will reveal itself, and you can scale just one product and make a significant amount of money with just that. So not everything is going to be maybe a good lead product. And any ones that you create that maybe that don't work on ad platforms, that's fine. Still have them in your store. Sometimes those are great secondary products to sell that people would buy left and right on your store when they're already there, but not through an ad. But anyway, just keep in mind, just 1 or 2 products that are winning or winning enough is all you need. You don't have to try to go big and have hundreds of products that are winners.
And when it's the first one, it might be all you can handle too. Yeah. If I had multiple right now, man, like it'd be so bad.
Yeah, people underestimate how much effort it is to scale a product. So, by the way, Matt, we've got another special guest here. I feel like Ellen DeGeneres. We're about to walk somebody special onto the stage
hop
here.
out of a box next to me.
Nope. I brought in Mario.
Hey.
Mario is joining us. What's up, Mario?
What's up, guys?
Hey, Mario.
It
Nice.
takes a village to raise a child, so it felt apt.
You called me I got 10 minutes in between calls, so I'm glad I could pop in for a second.
Yeah, man. What's up, dude?
Man, just working. Just
if you only have 10 minutes here,
going cross-eyed running ads, it's all good.
That's the way it should be this time of year. I would expect nothing less.
Yeah. No, having a blast, man. Super stoked that moving myself and all my clients over to ShineOn this year. I'm loving it. After 7 years of drop shipping from China, this is such a welcome change. It's awesome.
Dude, that's great. I love to hear that. So if you only have 10 minutes?
Yeah, let's see what I got next. I can push them. They're in my group. I got a little time. Yeah.
Well, just I want to give you a minute here. Do you want? I don't know. I saw you in the chat. I don't know how actively you've been listening.
I was just in and out because I had 2 other calls. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So Matt kind of mentioned, we were talking about Matt's kind of story here, right? And he kind of talked about how he kind of got started with the Econ Profit Formula course, and he joined Triumph, but he's also had coaching from you, and then also from Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
You were available. I thought you could join. Is there anything about Matt that stood out, or anything you remember from doing some coaching with Matt that you'd like to share, or anything like that?
For sure. Okay. So, and this is a concept I've talked about with Krste too. Oftentimes, somebody comes in with a lot of knowledge, and that can get in their way, right? And if they come in with an abundant attitude and decide to be coachable, then they can get out of their own way. And it's easier for an outsider, even if I've less years in the business than Matt does, it's easier for an outsider to see a couple of places where he's putting too much time into, right? And if he has those aha moments, then we can cut all that dead weight, and he can really just laser focus in on what he needs to just put the pedal to the metal right now. That and the consistency, the willingness to test hundreds of products and then variation, and then dozens of variations of his best product to get to the point where you've got his outlier of his outlier. And that's repeatable. Anybody can do that. If you test like you guys were talking about with any legitimate method, and you find the best variation of what you got, and then you're willing to get super aggressive. Like Matt's gotten super aggressive lately. I love it. He was like super timid, like even like a month ago, or even like a couple weeks ago. Now he's just like, let's go, come on.
Yeah, he scared me a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like, we only got 2 weeks left. We gotta go.
he's like, he was running from the bull, and now he's like on top of the bull with holding it by the horns. Like it's
Yeah,
like
right.
two different people.
You got to make hay while the sun shines, right?
Feel it.
So, Matt, what do you remember from Mario's training? Was there anything that kind of stood out to you? Any gold nuggets?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an organized person. Like, I'm an accountant, but I'm like very like artsy fartsy on that side, whatever brain that is. And so like for him, it was more like developing a structure and taking myself out of like a technicianal role. And you're like a CEO, man. You got to like run the business. Anything that's not your area of expertise, and if you want to do it in volume, you got to have someone else do it. And it's not anywhere nearly as expensive as you think. Nobody wants to go to work right now, so we're all working from home. So like one of the things that he had me do was get real structured about like I tracked a design when I would like launch them. Like I would like line up like this week is 5, and I would have them like design 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way, and I still have it. I'm on 182. So I mean, like I had it all the way down. And
so hold on, you're at your 182nd design.
Yeah.
And this is
not
your
the
winner.
one though.
Well, 130 something was the winner though, right?
135 was like the winner. I had 5 variations that I would, if I showed them to you, you'd be like, they look the same, but one was.
Okay, so hold on a second. This is awesome. I love this. So 130 till you found like your big winner, right?
Yeah.
Now, question though. So I mean, obviously, it takes time to get to 130, right? How many of those were like just flat losers? You lost money, were break even, made you a little money but couldn't scale. Can you
kind
put that into a pie chart for us?
Yeah, that's why I think your conversation about the fish always kept on popping up in my mind, because it was like people think it's like an all or none. And Krste mentions that it's almost like 2 separate scaling times. First, or testing times. One is the test to see if it has potential. 2 is a test to see if it's a winner. What kind of a fish is it? And so like I had a lot of them in there that were like, you know, salmon. I don't think I had any marlins, maybe a couple like that started out like it and then just took a dive for whatever. I think iOS tracking kind of impacted some of that this year. But like, I mean, I was up, down, up, down. I mean, some of those are just heartbreaks too, because you're like, I'm making $1,000. And then just off a cliff. So you got to be able to just chalk it up to like, no, it's not timing. It's not that you didn't launch it on this day of the week, or sometimes it's just it just had its moment, and it just can't go beyond that. And
dude,
so,
I love that you're calling your products fish, by the way.
Yeah.
Makes my heart warm.
Man, like one of my first experiences, I still think of them in that term, which is kind of funny. Like right now, I'm like, it's like a whale. I almost took my arm off because it was like, shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unmistakable when you get that product.
It's like,
right?
How do you know when you're going to be in love? You'll know. How do you know when you catch a whale? You'll know.
Yeah, totally.
And like I was telling Krste one time, I was like, the other ones, people always ask, well, not always ask, I feel like a guru. People always ask me, where did I get this Lambo? People always ask me, like what my testing method was. And like, as Krste said, it was dirty 30, 100%. I got this little image that's on my desk. I just look at it all the time and follow the rules. And awesome. this particular one, no matter what I did, if I changed it from a D30, I call it like a D60. So I put the budget to 60, it'd be successful. If I did 100, it was successful.
Totally.
And it was like the only one that I've had in this whole time that like, no matter like what type of ad set I launched, it'd win.
And see, now it makes sense when we tell you that you can be really bad at Facebook ads, but if you have the winning product, it will work.
Yeah.
Right? Because like it's not the Facebook ad kung fu that makes it a winner. It is just not. Anybody that thinks that, they've got it upside down. Don't get me wrong. Understanding how to run ads and how to scale well is important, because that'll help you get as much profit out of that product when you find it as possible. But it's not the ad methods that will make the product a winner. It is never going to be that way.
Right.
Yeah, I freaking love that, man. What else?
Yeah. What's that?
What else?
What else? Well, that was one of the questions that I didn't answer, but I saw was how many designs did I launch? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to tell you because it might make you sad.
Well, but the thing is like, I didn't track my designs like that. Like they weren't numbered. But dude, I mean, when Q4 rolled around, I would go absolutely bananas. I mean, I would literally be doing like 50 a week. I mean, I was literally that. I was absolutely insane with the number of designs I was testing, because the thing is I knew the opportunity during Q4. There was something about me that kind of intuitively understood that Q4 is when you can become a millionaire. I mean, it is literally like the opportunity is that massive, right? So I would just feel so much urgency. I mean, I'd have trouble sleeping. Like there was just something about it that I was able to kind of tap into, and that drove all this productivity. Like I'd have all this energy, and I'd be cranking out 50 designs a week. I'm not kidding. I mean, I'd be going bananas. So when you say 130, I'm actually glad you shared that, because I think it'll be eye-opening for a lot of the people listening. It's a skill. It takes time. And even if you know what you're doing, it still takes time to kind of find a winner. And then you have to, know how to scale the winner when you find it. This is why the 100, 100, 100 challenge was structured the way it was.
And that's kind of what started me tracking. Is way back, you did it like a year ago or something. Not this last one, but the one before. I started tracking to make sure that I get 100. So it's kind of like an extension of that. And then the other point of it is it's kind of like an asset once you build it up. Because like, let's say I'm testing stuff, February, March, April, all the way through the year. And I'm tracking, like, did it make sales? When did I start it? When did I kill it? Once Q4 comes around, the normal rules don't apply. Something that might have been like a salmon is now grown into a giant whale if you relaunch it. So it was kind of like almost like a log. Like these are the designs I might go back and look at come Q4.
It's like, that like radioactive ooze in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It's like, imagine somebody just dumps like, an Olympic-sized pool of that in the ocean during Q4, because that is what happens during Q4, 100%.
Yeah.
All your fish become mutants. Mm-hmm. But I get okay, so I'm getting off into metaphor land here. So what Matt's saying there, though, is he had this spreadsheet, and when Q4 rolled around, he was able to go back, crawl back through the spreadsheet, see which products have been kind of popped off for him a little bit in the past, and then try them again during Q4 to see if they could find legs.
That's one of Mario's principles. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing, is like the ones that were maybe like salmon could be a tweak, a little bit of like wording change away from transforming to a whale too. So that was something else I'd look at. I'd relaunch it and do maybe like 5 variations of this one that I did in May. Boom, it could totally transform it.
So Mario, let me ask real quick. So we're having tons of success. I don't want to speak for Krste and Zappy, but with TikTok and Facebook, I mean, they're crushing it right now on TikTok. How are things looking for you, with your students and your own media buying? What's kind of working on your side of the house?
Just like 100% Facebook. Like I'm dipping my toes in TikTok, and we have like a base hit there. But as I'm talking here, I'm going through 4 different stores. I'm using some of Tim Bird's strategies. Who's one of my mentors, as far as like an intraday day trading type of format. Sort of, I like to test with the CBO algorithm because I find it to be more consistent, but I like to scale with the ABO algorithm because I find that you can find pockets within different ad sets that are going to have more intraday momentum. And so basically what we're doing to hit 10, 20, 30 grand days on a handful of different stores within my group, or really taking advantage of that. And the nice thing about that is you basically have 3 different types of days. If you're looking at sort of a day trading mentality, you've got a day where everything's just going great in the beginning. You want to make as much profit as possible and get as aggressive as possible. Then at the end of the day, you can't get greedy. You got to take profits before Zuckerberg changes the dealer on you, right? You got your average day where you throw a ton of money in, you're kind of break even in the morning, you start to hit profit about lunch. You make a nice profit in the afternoon. And again, you got to take that profit.
Yep.
And then you got your days where you start out and everything's rough, like Black Friday or something, and the auction's like super crowded. And I call those you're digging yourself out of the gutter days. So you got to make all the right moves during the day, follow your rules, just take a deep breath. And by the end of the day, you're either going to be a tiny little loss or break even. And that's where the rubber meets the road with that sort of mentality. Is if you can go like all November and on your worst day you barely lost any money while you're scaling at 20 grand, 30 grand days, and on your best day you're at like 3 ROAS, then those days that you didn't give the money back make all the difference.
100%. Dude, those are massive wins. I actually love this. Speaks to some of your experience with scaling. Is like, I know exactly what you're talking about with the types of days, right? Yeah. And kind of the day trader mentality. Because when I kind of was doing my IM algorithm method, it literally lived on that. It lived on kind of the buying patterns you see throughout the day. I know Krste and Zap, they're posting screenshots all day long in our ShineOn Slack channels, and you see the same thing. You see sales really pop off during, kind of early morning, and then again at lunchtime. Krste, what I'm curious to know kind of what you think there after hearing kind of Mario and his analogies of using day trading and all that, because I know you're seeing a lot of the same things.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I think that this comes right back to mindset. You have to put in your risk management. So regardless if you're day trading or not, if you're using CBOs and you're using cost caps or bid caps, like whatever strategy you're using, you have to have risk management. You have to know what the limit is. So if we go back to the discussion on Black Friday, and this comes back like to the mindset thing. So we're talking about when people are testing and they have their mindset on, oh crap, I'm going to lose $30 or $60 testing, right? When you're at scale and you're doing 6-figure days, sometimes you can lose thousands of dollars. So you have to remove yourself from the financial aspect, and you have to be prepared for whatever situation comes upon. So like Black Friday was terrible for, I think, all of us. I think Mario was also having a horrible day.
It wasn't good. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I had my risk management in place. Like I was prepared to lose X amount of money. Like worst case scenario, all of my ads will turn off and I'll lose X amount of money. Fortunately, there was these ads that ended up digging us out of the gutter and we made a profit, right? So I can totally relate to that happening. But worst case scenario, I still had my risk management. So I'd lose only X at the end of the day. Like that was what we were prepared to lose. So you always have to have your risk management in place. And that's a crucial part. And you really, it's like thinking about this as a game. Like, I don't know, we had that conversation when we did the interview last year with Michael, how I was a StarCraft 2 Grandmaster. So I was really good at that game. And I'm kind of applying that same thing to my media buying. So I know how many ad sets and how many ads I have to launch and different strategies to achieve my goals. And it's literally like playing a game. So I keep putting all of those ad sets out. And when we're talking about the diminishing returns right now, so it's like I can keep launching ad sets, but I'm not really going to get any money. So I need to like dive down a little bit and keep it steady, sort of thing. So I've launched a whole bunch of so it's like let's say Age of Empires, right? You have like a whole bunch of villages, right? You keep putting them out there and they're going to build the houses and so on and so forth. And then you have your empire. And once you have your empire, you just kind of like, you can do whatever you want. So this is why I stack all of the strategies that I have. So I use cost caps, bid caps. I use something similar to what Mario's using. I've tweaked it a little bit and refined it in my own way. I'm basically stacking everything together, and whatever sticks on any particular day, that's what we'll run. If something's not doing so well. So, and this is what we talked about with Matt as well. Like we tried lookalikes and they didn't work, but that doesn't rule out lookalikes forever. We'll try them again in a week, because as time goes by, the data matures on the pixel, and those lookalikes might end up being the best interest the following week. So you really have to put everything out there. And I really like how Matt said there's like no real, like you pass testing, but then it's also testing again when you're scaling, because you can't really you can't really have one single way of testing scaling, because there's so many different ways to scale, and not everything may work for the next product. So one scaling method might work really well for one product, and then something else might work well for another product. So it's just about having that diversity and stacking it all together to really win at this.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're saying that, you're taking your testing, keep in mind, he's kind of got the product research and the testing down pat, right, from his own personal experience. And so like Mario, he gets to spend a lot of time scaling and seeing what works on the actual media buying side of things. And it sounds like, Krste, what you're saying is, you even test there all the time with scaling methods, not just testing methods, but it's like even in scaling, like every day, you don't know what's going to work. So you're setting up 3 to 5 different types of campaigns using different scaling methods, and then you give them a while to run, you see what works, and you turn the others off. Is that basically what you're saying there?
Yep, exactly right. Every single day is different.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Actually, I've actually never approached it that way on my own. At least not in the same day, anyway, that I can think of. Maybe I'm wrong. Zappy,
guys, I got to run. Thanks for having me on for a minute. I'm late to a call, but
yeah, Mario, appreciate you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy
If I don't talk to you soon, and keep kicking butt. Give
Mario some love in the chat. See you, dude.
Yes.
Later. If there's little mushroom emojis, drop those in the chat. Mario, Super Mario Brothers, mushroom.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
It works. It works.
I'll
yeah, and I think you're Italian too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What? Come on. What could be better? Let's get some mushrooms in the chat. See you later, man.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
So, Zappy, dude, what about, I know you're focusing primarily on the TikTok side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, tell me kind of what's going through your head here. What's working for you on the testing side, the scaling side, all of that?
Yeah. So on the testing side, for TikTok, focused. Starting out, you can do automatic bidding. Get some traction, but ultimately at scale, what we're seeing is that the cost caps are working better. It's setting this is the price that I'm willing to pay for a sale kind of thing. And like they were saying, the other guys were saying, it can be different each day. Yesterday we had some incredible numbers, on a Thursday. Today it's been a little bit slower with the exact same campaigns, and you're just sometimes just going to have some of that fluctuation. And one thing I'll mention is, before I talk more about creatives, I guess I'll just talk about creatives now, especially for TikTok, since the creatives are just videos. You don't have the option of doing image ads like you do with Facebook. TikTok likes various creatives, and they like mixing it up over time. And especially when you're running something at scale, you can burn through creatives. It's the banner blindness, basically. So you're getting it on two sides. TikTok wants to not show it anymore if it's something that you've been running for a while, and then people get used to seeing it if they start seeing it multiple times. So creative is very important for TikTok. Even if you just do a couple of variations of the same kind of thing, and start a new campaign for the next day, sometimes that will give an immediate bump in sales again, lower your costs per sales. And the other thing is, I'm not 100% sure if this is what did it, but I had started a new campaign, I don't want to say 4 days ago, and by all intents and purposes, it looked like it was a dud. Like the product wasn't going to do anything. It wasn't profitable for that day, and I was looking at it, and it wasn't getting enough click through. So I was just sort of analyzing what data that I got from it. It wasn't a failure; it was a learning. It's always a learning if you are proactive about looking at the data and deciding what to do with it. So I thought, I think that people can't see the message card well enough. The video that I had done for it was, it was just a little too far away from the camera, and I think people weren't able to engage with it. So I literally took the same footage, zoomed in on it so that I made it as big as I could for a TikTok screen, vertical screen, reran it the next day, and it was immediately profitable. So I think that ultimately it was a creative on that one. Sometimes it's hard to say, but it really seemed like that's what made the difference. So sometimes it is just taking a step back. Okay, what can I learn from, what that campaign did yesterday? Is there something I need to tweak, or is it definitely a failure, or not a failure? Definitely a losing product.
It goes back into you're not wasting money, you're buying data, right? like that mindset's got to flip for everybody, because it's going to be super hard, especially when you're new and you're learning and you've never hit a winner, that you spend money on ads and you don't get anything back. It's going to be super difficult to stay in the game if you don't have this kind of initial mindset switch where you go, I'm not wasting money. I'm not flushing money down the toilet. I'm buying data, right? And then what you need to do, your job is the media buyer, is the digital marketer here, is to go look at that data, analyze it, and take lessons from it, right? Make sure you're learning from the money you're spending on how to either spot a loser faster the next time, how to tweak your existing campaign. You know, another good mindset is winning campaigns are not launched. They are built, right? They're not launched, they're built. It takes time to build winning campaigns, right? So again, you're buying data, look at the data, analyze the data, figure out what the data is telling you, and then take appropriate actions from there. So, hey, I think I'm going to go to two more questions here, and then we're going to wrap this up. Krste, you kind of leaned into your mic, though. Did you have something you were going to add?
Yeah, I mean, I just agree with what you're saying. Like, the campaigns are created. So, like, now that I'm at this sort of scale, I can cut a whole bunch of losers and optimize on profitability. Maybe my revenue numbers will go down 10, 15, 20%, but the profit will skyrocket up. So yeah, it literally is about, you know, processing and building that successful campaign. But you're not going to get to those revenue numbers if you don't keep launching and scaling those campaigns. You know, you sacrifice that profit to get to that sweet spot, and then you can refine and tweak and hone in on the actual profitability at that point. So scaling is the process, and then, you know, you smoothen out. So you come down and smoothen out to get that consistent profitability. So you find where you want to be. Like, some people like to run leaner campaigns and go for really, really high revenue and tight margins. But, you know, you kind of want to find whatever sweet spot you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I dig it. Okay, I think I'm going to ask two more questions, and then let's wrap this up. So, Matt, you're back on center stage, buddy. So first of all, are you, you know, you're scaling, you said you did over $20,000 yesterday. Are you dabbling in TikTok at all, or is it all Facebook, or where is it at?
Yeah, it's primarily Facebook, but I am playing with TikTok right now.
Cool.
I think I had 20 sales yesterday from TikTok, and no, actually 30 yesterday, 20 the day before. So it's gradually ratcheting it up. A lot of people are kind of talking about having problems getting spend, and I don't know if this is a real thing or if I'm just making it up as I go, but I had a lot of auto bids, and I just started doing some bid caps. But as Krste says, I'm kind of aggressive right now. And as soon as the bid caps, I mean, they weren't high bids, just decent bids. As soon as they started getting spend, all of a sudden the auto ones started performing. It was the weirdest thing, and they're getting profitable sales. So that's kind of what I've been playing with right now. And like I said, maybe to put it in like perspective, 30 sales, and I probably had like 250 sales yesterday. So not a huge percentage, but I definitely see the potential there. And I want to be like Zappy and Krste when I grow up on TikTok.
Well, dude, there are other holidays, because right after Christmas is Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Valentine's Day
is going to be a big one.
Zappy's gonna be dressed up like Cupid and everything.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Spread the love.
All right. So the next question I had, this one is actually from the group here. Dude, Matt, how did you not give up? Because it took you a long time to kind of find a winner and for this to pay off for you. And one of the questions was, how did you not give up during all of that time?
I think that that's what's so great about the groups. I know people have trouble like allocating money sometimes, and I get that. But like what we do is so foreign to people. Like if I have conversations to my relatives, like they think I'm on crack or something. Like, dude, you don't sell jewelry online, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's
I remember telling my dad one time, and he's like, be careful, there are a bunch of scams out there. And I'm like, you have no idea what I just said, do you?
Yeah. So like getting around people that have, like you said, the abundance mindset and understand what we're doing, is a huge value from the groups, like not just learning from Krste, but learning from everybody, learning like what they're doing to stay motivated. I mean, them seeing their successes literally makes me so motivated. And you know, Krste may be the rabbit that none of us will ever catch with his campaigns, but there's a lot of them in there that are having success that like just push me along. And you know, there's two ways to look at it. Like when I took your training, Krste went off like a rocket, and I could have easily said like, oh, he's just lucky, you know, I'm just not lucky, you know, it's not for me, whatever. But like I took it as like inspiration, as like, that's, look at him. I mean, if like he can do it, then I can do it. I just need to work. So I think that's kind of where like my motivation came, from being a part of these little pockets of people that are all hell bent on making it work because they know what it means if they succeed. And it goes back to your baseball quote. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's about having these potential for huge returns, home runs that are just gigantic. All you need to be right is one time, and it changes everything.
I'm going to read the quote.
You should. It's an awesome quote. Once my office is done, I'm going to put it on the wall, I swear.
We're going to end here with this. So the quote is from Jeff Bezos, of all people, but it says, outsized returns often come from betting against conventional wisdom, and conventional wisdom is usually right. Given a 10% chance of 100 times payoff, you should take the bet every time, right? So basically, if you have a 10% chance of 100x payoff, take the bet every time. But you're still going to be wrong 9 times out of 10. We all know that if you swing for the fences, you're going to strike out a lot, but you're also going to hit some home runs. The difference between baseball and business, however, is that baseball has a truncated outcome distribution. When you swing, no matter how well you connect with the ball, the most runs you can get is 4, right? Bases loaded, right? In business, every once in a while, when you step up to the plate, you can score 1,000 runs. This long-tail distribution of returns is why it's important to be bold. Big winners pay for so many experiments. And that is the entire print-on-demand game right there.
100%.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you for joining. Thank you so much, Matt. Loved having you on. Everybody drop Matt some love in the chat.
Thanks,
and until we see you next week, happy sailing. Selling.
Right.
Everybody watching this, stay shiny, everybody.
See ya.
Laters.
See everyone.